Brazil show their World Cup intentions. Endrick shines as Ancelotti's men defeat Egypt 2-1. What if Brazil have finally found the formula they have been searching for? What if Carlo Ancelotti is slowly transforming the Seleção into a team that can once again dominate the world stage? In a match filled with drama, individual brilliance, tactical experiments, and important lessons ahead of the FIFA World Cup, Brazil secured a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Egypt. The result itself was important, but perhaps even more significant was what it revealed about the future of this Brazilian side. A stunning performance from Endrick, a clinical finish from Bruno Guimarães, and another strong second-half display under Carlo Ancelotti gave Brazilian fans plenty of reasons to be optimistic. However, defensive mistakes continue to raise concerns. So what exactly happened in this exciting encounter? Let's take a closer look. With the World Cup rapidly approaching, Carlo Ancelotti used this match as one final opportunity to test his squad and evaluate different combinations. Right from the start, it was clear that the Italian manager was focused not only on winning, but also on gathering valuable information about his players. A listen started in goal, while the defensive line featured Wesley, Marquinhos, Santos, and Ibanez. In midfield, Casemiro partnered Bruno Guimarães and Lucas Paqueta. Up front, Vinicius Jr., Raphinha, and Igor Thiago were tasked with leading the attack. The game started at a high tempo, with both teams showing attacking intent. Egypt, led by several experienced players, looked confident and eager to challenge one of football's biggest giants. But Brazil struck first. In just the 8th minute, a costly mistake from an Egyptian defender gifted Brazil an opportunity, and Bruno Guimarães made absolutely no mistake. The Newcastle United midfielder showed great composure and precision as he calmly slotted the ball into the net, giving Brazil a 1-0 lead and setting off celebrations among the Brazilian supporters. However, Brazil's advantage did not last long. In a frustrating sequence that highlighted one of the team's biggest weaknesses, the Seleção committed a defensive error of their own. Marquinhos, who has occasionally been criticized for mistakes in a Brazil shirt despite his impressive club achievements, was caught out. Egypt took full advantage of the opportunity, and Zico finished brilliantly to level the score at 1-1. Ironically, the goal came in a manner very similar to Brazil's opener. Just like that, the match was back on level terms. The equalizer exposed several issues in Brazil's first-half performance. While the team controlled possession for long periods, they struggled to create consistent danger in the final third. Defensively, there were moments of uncertainty, and the connection between midfield and attack often seemed lacking. Brazilian fans watching around the world were left frustrated by the team's inability to fully dominate the match. Things became even more complicated in the 17th minute when Wesley picked up an injury. Rather than taking any risks before the World Cup, Ancelotti immediately made a change. Danilo was brought on to replace the injured defender, ensuring that Brazil maintained stability at the back while protecting one of their important players. As the first half continued, Vinicius Jr. and Raphinha attempted to create opportunities through their pace and skill, but Egypt remained organized and disciplined. Several promising attacks broke down before reaching the final stage, and Brazil entered halftime with questions still needing answers. The scoreline was tied, and the performance was far from convincing. But if there is one thing football fans have started to notice about Ancelotti's teams, is their ability to improve dramatically after halftime. During his years at Real Madrid, Ancelotti's sides became famous for producing strong second-half performances, often turning difficult situations into victories. That same pattern is now beginning to appear with Brazil. At the start of the second half, Ancelotti made a series of significant changes. Weverton replaced Alisson in goal. Bremer came on for Marquinhos, while Leo Pereira replaced Ibanez. Fabinho entered the midfield in place of Casemiro, and Danilo Santos replaced Bruno Guimarães. Most importantly, Endrick was introduced, while Matheus Cunha also joined the action. These substitutions immediately injected fresh energy into the team. The impact was visible almost instantly. Brazil looked sharper, faster, and far more aggressive going forward. The passing became more fluid, the pressing more intense, and the movement off the ball created new problems for the Egyptian defense. Then came the moment that everyone would be talking about after the final whistle. In the 53rd minute, Endrick announced himself once again on the international stage. Receiving a perfectly timed pass following a brilliant attacking move, the young striker showed confidence beyond his years and finished clinically to restore Brazil's lead. It was a goal that carried enormous significance. Over the past months, there have been debates about whether Endrick deserves his place in the national team setup. Critics questioned his experience and readiness for the biggest stage. But with one decisive moment, he answered those doubts. The celebration reflected not only joy but also relief. Endrick had proven that he belongs among Brazil's brightest talents. This was not a player selected because of hype or potential alone. This was a player demonstrating real quality under pressure. His goals showcased intelligence, composure, and a winning mentality, qualities that every World Cup contender needs. After taking the lead, Brazil continued to control much of the match. The attacking play looked increasingly dangerous, and Egypt struggled to deal with the movement and creativity of the Brazilian forwards. Yet despite their dominance, Brazil failed to convert several promising opportunities. This remains one of the team's biggest concerns heading into the World Cup. The statistics tell an interesting story. Brazil registered 12 shots during the match, with 7 of them on target. Egypt managed only 5 shots, with just 2 testing the goalkeeper. Brazil also created 5 big chances compared to Egypt's single major opportunity. On paper, the Brazilian side clearly deserved the victory. However, those missed chances cannot be ignored. Against stronger opposition at the World Cup, failing to convert clear opportunities could prove costly. The best teams in international football punish wastefulness, and Brazil will need greater efficiency in front of goal if they hope to lift the trophy. Still, there were many positives to take away from this performance. Bruno Guimarães once again demonstrated his importance in midfield. Endrick delivered a statement performance. The second-half tactical adjustments worked perfectly. And perhaps most importantly, Carlo Ancelotti showed that he is building a team capable of adapting and improving during matches. Brazil may not be the finished product yet. Defensive lapses remain a concern, and there is still work to be done in attack. But there are signs that something special is beginning to develop. The resilience, the tactical flexibility, and the emergence of exciting young talent suggest that Brazil could be a serious contender when the World Cup finally arrives. The question now is simple. Can Carlo Ancelotti guide Brazil back to the top of world football? Can Endrick become one of the stars of the tournament? And most importantly, do you believe Brazil have what it takes to win the World Cup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.